Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Desert Knits. I'm Laura. You can find me on Ravelry as loraclare and on Instagram as laura.clare, and that's L-O-R-A and C-L-A-R-E. It will be in the show notes as well as on the screen somewhere, probably on the title page. Let's see. Thanks for coming back. I almost decided to wait on recording this week. I've been doing all of my recording and editing and posting from everything on my iPad, excuse me. But I have a computer now, sort of. So the computer is a hand-me-down from Ty's brother. He built himself, well, Ty built him a new computer, and so all of the stuff that was in Ty's brother's old computer is now my computer. So I had to find a desktop monitor and a keyboard and a mouse and that kind of stuff, but I just went and picked some of that stuff up this morning. So Ty will be setting up my computer, making sure everything runs right, making sure there's, software so that I can edit and stuff on that, but I don't know if that's going to happen today or the next time I record, so everything will probably still be edited on my iPad, which means maybe a title page and a page at the end with, my Ravelry name and that kind of thing on it, but nothing more than that. But this also means that I will be actually setting up I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do like a blog or a Ravelry group to post links to my videos on, but I'll figure it out. I'm leaning more towards a blog just because I feel like that'll work better for me, and I can post pictures and that kind of thing to it rather than to a thread in a Ravelry group. I'm sorry if you hear lots of paper crinkling. The rats got a new little kid toy. They got one of those car ramp things to climb on, and they're currently stuffing it full of shredded newspaper. So, entertaining. Entertaining, but maybe a little loud on the podcast, so I apologize if they're too loud. Anyways, I have one finished object, one knitting work in progress, and one spinning work in progress, and then a lot of stash to share with you, as well as a prize for winter camp to show off, and a little bit of discussion about winter camp. So, first things first. I think last time I was like this far away from finishing the picot bind off for my Dance Macabre shawl. I finished it and I blocked it, and it has actually been cool enough that I have worn it a couple times. It's been abnormally rainy, so I've worn it back and forth to work a few mornings, and I actually got to wear it yesterday for most of the time that I was out because it was so windy. It was like 70 degrees or something, but still windy enough. I was wearing a tank top that it was cold in the wind. But anyways, you can see the little beads in there. I loved knitting this pattern. So the yarn itself I dyed with the dandelion flowers. So it is a really light kind of yellow. I'm not sure if the color will come through right, but it matches the gold beads really, really well. It is I think it's a 75% merino, 20% silk, 5% gold stellina. So there's actually gold sparkle I don't know if we can see the sparkle, in with the gold beads, piece of hair, and let's see if I can find it on the edge. So I had 2 skeins that I dyed up with the dandelion flowers. Yeah, here we go. And it's a top-down shawl. So here's where I cast on. Right here. Okay. All the way to here was 1 skein. And then this ruffly bit with the really giant eyelets from here down was, so essentially from here down to the cast off was almost a whole nother skein. I have, I think, a quarter of that skein left, and there was something like 460 yards per skein that I dyed. So a very large shawl. It wraps around. I really like the top edge because it wraps around really nicely. I can tuck it, over my shoulder and then around again. So it's going to be, and it's long enough that I am going to love wearing this next winter and fall. It is a little big for me to carry around in the summer and use in grocery stores and that kind of thing, but if we go to the movies, then I'll probably bring it with me. So yeah, I am a huge fan of the way that the pattern goes from the garter stitch into a garter and stockinette kind of lace section into straight lace, and then the giant eyelets on the edge. So, and I was entertained the whole time. I hate when I get bored during really giant shawl knits. So, that is my only finished object. Now, knitting work in progress. Oh, I guess I have 2 knitting works in progress. So one is that sock that I've been working on, Mince Pie Mayhem. It's in the Socktopus book. I did not do the heel that is called for in the pattern. I just did a basic ribbed heel flap with a, what is that? I think it's a V heel on there. And then for the foot, I've decided that I'm just going to do plain stockinette stitch because I've mainly been knitting this at work during breaks. So for, 10 minutes twice a day and whatever time I have not eating while I'm on lunch, I've been working on it. And I've gotten from here to here at work in the last 2 weeks. So I don't really want to try and figure out and follow where in this pattern I am, so I'm just not. I'm not. But I really like this pattern. I'll probably knit it again when I have a different work knitting sock. So there's from here down is what I've done in the last couple weeks at work. And this is the Seven Sisters Arts Meridian base in the Cripple Creek color, 7525 merino nylon. Now the other knitting work in progress, I am not going to hold it out so that you can actually see it. I have 3 rows in the bind off left. It is a test knit for one of my friends on Instagram, and she designed the shawl. I started it a week and a half ago, I think. I don't remember exactly the date, but I started it and I'm almost done because I want to finish the test knit quickly enough that she can have all of that input and pictures when she posts the pattern to Ravelry. So the yarn that I'm using for this is the Rain City Knits Super Sock, Super Sock in the navy blue color. This is another yarn that I got from the Yarn Box Socks subscription box thing. And I actually ordered it's a really nice basic navy blue. So I actually ordered a second skein of it. I'm using both skeins for the shawl. Now, I'm not sure if in the future I will order any more of the Rain City Knits yarn, because both skeins I was able to do like this much on the ball winder, and then I had to wind the rest by hand because it was, I don't know if any of you have had any issues with the Malabrigo sock yarn, but it was the first yarn that I knit a shawl out of, and it was incredibly tangled. This reminded me of that. It was like whoever was winding it one direction and then decided, oh hey, I'm gonna go back the other way, and we'll wind it the other way for a few rounds and then go back the other way again, over and over and over again. So on one of the balls of yarn, or one of the skeins, I was able to start from the end where most of the tangles were and get those out of the way and then go back and wind it again. But with this skein I got about that far before I had to just wind it by hand. So, Bev, no, back up. She's gonna walk all over the stash. Yeah, I don't know if you... She's so cute. Anyways. So, test knit. It's a really interesting construction. You start with a little textured section and then move into the lace pattern, but I have almost all of it done. I know you can't see the pattern at all, but that's okay. That is making the lights go crazy. Okay, so it's navy blue. It's the rest of the room is not yellow, but the yarn is navy blue. Yeah, that's kind of funny. So I will finish that today and probably block it this evening. It's laundry day, so I have the blanket that I normally do blocking on because I don't care if it gets a little damp. It's in the wash right now. So this evening I will be able to block it on a nicely cleaned blanket. Now, stash, because this is a lot of stash. So I won a skein of yarn from Anya, I don't really know how to say her name, of the Happy Little Dye Pot for the Snow Leopard group winter camp. We had our own little prize drawing. So it was a skein of yarn from her shop. Well, I couldn't pick one. They're all really pretty. So I asked her to send her favorite to me. I also asked her if she wanted to send a donation for a prize for Warrior Camp. So she sent 2 skeins of yarn. So she sent this one, which the colorway is Woodland. It is a 100-gram skein of 50/50 merino Tessa silk. And both of them have the cutest little stitch markers attached to them. And then this one is Riddle 2, and it looks like it's a 75 merino, 20 nylon, 5% stellina, so it's nice and sparkly. You can kind of see the sparkle coming through on the camera. And I love these purples and blues, and it has a cute little heart stitch marker thingy, progress keeper on it. And then she also sent, and I'm assuming that she dyed these herself as well, these 2 little minis. They're so pretty. I love both of these colors. So I decided, because I have a lot of purples and blues in my stash, that this one is going to be the one that is a prize for winter camp. So Anya, the happy little dye pot. Thank you so much for your donation. I'm also going to use these as a prize, not with this one. I'm going to try and let lots of people try out her yarn because it's so pretty. And then this one, I'm going to make myself something. Probably a mitten set, just because I don't have a new pair of, I haven't knit myself a new pair of mittens for a couple years, so get myself a new pair of mittens for this upcoming fall in, 6 months or something, 4 or 5 months, because it's too hot until then to actually wear mittens. And then one of my friends a couple years ago actually sent me a gift card for my birthday to Mr. Yarn. It's a yarn store. I don't actually know if they have a physical location or just an online presence, but I never ended up using the gift card for ages and ages and ages. I would go look at the store, I would think about it, think about what I wanted to try, because I didn't want to get something that I'd used before. Well, I got an email a couple weeks ago saying that the Mr. Yarn store is going to close. So I had an outstanding balance on a gift card, I better use it. Sorry guys, no idea what happened. Apparently there was no room on my iPad for any more video, even though it has something like 20 gigs available in the memory. So anyways, yarn, back to yarn. So gift card, I had to use it before the store was closed. So I got the Handmaiden lace silk, 100% silk in the Dandelion colorway. I am a huge fan of these colors. The little square color sample thing on the monitor in the store, on the computer, whatever. I think it had like that much of it showing or something. So I wasn't really sure how it would look. I couldn't find this color for some reason in anyone's Ravelry stash. So I ordered it, and I love it. I love dandelions. I mean, I used dandelion flowers to try and dye something. So I love dandelions, even though they are a weed, and if they're actually in my yard, they need to go, just because I don't want to water dandelions instead of food. So, yeah. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it yet. Something lacy. I don't even know if I have enough in the one skein to do any kind of project that would interest me. So I may end up ordering another skein of that yarn. Yeah. And then more stash. Yes, I know, more stash. Inglenook fibers in the bristlecone fan page group thing on Ravelry. There's going to be a Princess Bride spin along. So we all voted on a picture for Inglenook fibers to use as inspiration for a colorway. So this is the picture that we all voted and agreed would be the inspiration picture. Oops. And this is my package of little sickle bats. This is my first Inglenook fiber. I'm very excited. It is so incredibly soft. I opened the package and I all over it. It is 4.35 ounces of Australian bond fleece, merino, silk, alpaca, bamboo, faux cashmere, tencel, and silk noil. So I'm super excited to do this spin along with them. And then they also, Inglenook Fibers, she also dyed a companion braid. Two different bases, and I actually got one of each. There is a superwash merino silk, so 40% superwash merino, 40% straight merino, and then 20% silk. Obviously the colors match very well to the little batlings. And then the other braid is 60/40 Polworth silk. No, I am not keeping all 3 of these to myself. One of them is a gift for someone, a friend of mine, who will remain nameless until she receives it. It's a surprise. So she's getting one of the braids. And then Inglenook Fibers also included a little sample of one of their elemental blends. Oh, it is really windy outside. I'm sorry, I'm not even sure. It might be loud enough that you can hear it through the windows. Anyways, let's see. This little sample, the colorway is Serpentine. Excuse the crinkle, I'm actually going to take it out because it's not showing up very well. So it's Serpentine. There's some sparkle in there. It is 45% Fin, 25% Yak, 25% Tussa Silk, and 5% Bronze Stellina. So that'll be a fun little extra bit to spin. Maybe, I don't have any idea how much it weighs or anything. Maybe it'll be enough that I can make a little mini. Add it to my tiny, tiny, tiny little blanket thing. And all of that fiber leads me into my last work in progress. It is a spin. I have one turtle done, one turtle on my Jenkins Turkish drop spindle. I don't remember. I have the shorter shaft on it, so I can't remember right now which one exactly it is, but yeah. J or Lark. I don't remember what the shorter shaft. I think it's the J. I think. So, but it's my little turtle on this guy. And then I could have sworn I had more fiber to spin, but it looks like this last little bit and then 2 more separate bits of fiber is it. Like, I could have sworn I had another one of these. I don't know where it went between my table and the bedroom for recording. So it may turn up. I may have been mistaken. I don't really know. But unfortunately, all of the fiber and my spindle does not fit in my little Tupperware container. So they aren't being stored in the most safe manner, especially with dogs, aside from being up on top of my table. I'm going to, sorry, loud sound happening in the kitchen. I'm probably going to stick one of these back in the bag, just so I can store everything together. But this fiber is Northbound Knitting, the Telltale Heart. It is 100% Shetland. Yeah, 100% Shetland. So, I don't have a whole heck of a lot of it left to spin. So, I know that I'm going to be spinning these. But that's in June. The spin along for this, I think, is supposed to start June 1st. So I don't know what I'm going to spin between finishing that and starting this. I had thought that I would be able to participate in the Mirkwood spin-along. I still haven't started that. It will go through the end of June, I think, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll start this early and use it for the Mirkwood as well as the bristlecone spin-along. So I haven't really decided. Now, we normally have a running segment. This week's running segment is going to be like this long. I haven't been running much. I think let's see, this morning I ran 4 miles, and then I grabbed this old lady pit bull right back here and walked her for a mile. She can't run anymore. She gets too limpy after about a mile. So she's stuck with walks, which she loves. She's totally passed out. Anyways, so ran Molly 4 miles this morning, and then last Monday I ran 3 miles, and then Wednesday I ran, I think, 2.5 miles. So not a whole lot of mileage. My knee does seem to be doing better. It doesn't hurt to run anymore, so next week I'm going to start more mileage again and see if I can't get back on schedule for training. I did factor in extra time for training so that if something like this happened, I wouldn't be totally off track and unable to participate in the full marathon. So, yeah. Let's see. In 2 weekends, so when I would typically record, it is the weekend before my birthday, and I'm going to have my mother out visiting. So I'm not sure if I will record that Sunday or if it'll be like Sunday night after she's gone. But I should have fun stories because I will be spending Friday at the NWRSA spin-in. So I'm not participating as far as going to conferences or any of the classes, but I figure I'll drive down there. It's only a couple hours away. And spend the day there spinning, eating good food from Lewiston, and then drive home that evening and spend the weekend with my mother. And I think that she's bringing my grandma, though I don't know for sure. So yeah, that is about all I've got for you. Come join us in Warrior Camp. We have fun prizes now. Well, there were fun prizes before, but now we have Anya, who provided a lovely, lovely, lovely skein of yarn. It's so squishy and soft and sparkly. So, Warrior Camp, find us on Ravelry. We have a group. And challenge yourself to a fitness and craft along. Yeah. I will see you guys in a couple weeks.